Good afternoon, boys and girls. Prizes for guessing where we are. We are on the very south end of Las Vegas Strip, and I'm in the car park for the Las Vegas sign, which is absolute carnage. I mean, just getting in here, you've just got tourist after tourist trying to park in what is a limited number of spaces anyway. But then you add stupidity and US driver education into the equation, and it isn't a recipe for anything that tastes good. Anyway, what are we doing today? So as you can see, I'm on Dora today. Dora the Explorer, not Daisy. I'm gonna basically drive up the strip for you. For those of you who have not been down Las Vegas Strip, maybe this is the only experience you ever want to have of driving or visiting the strip, so you can thank me later. Or for those of you who've been up and down the strip, maybe it'll bring back some lovely memories. Anyway, Dora, what are you? Dora? Dora is obviously a Ducati. She's a Hyperstrada 939, a 2016. So compared to Daisy and Dot, the 916 and 996, she's a fairly modern bike. She's got ABS and traction control and rider modes and all that business. But Dora is my kind of go out, do the mileage, go camping, go to work, go out in the rain. She's my workhorse. So yeah, there's some nice things added on. What have we got? We've got the Akrapovic exhaust as an aftermarket thing. So those of you who know what Hypermotard is, the Hyperstrada is basically like the touring version of the Hypermotard. The differences being the Hyperstrada's got a screen. I've got heated grips. The suspension's probably set up a little bit different, a little bit sturdier for highway miles, I guess. But the main thing is the luggage. Oh, it's got a bigger alternator. It's got a bigger alternator because it's got charging ports on there, so things like my phone and my sat nav and stuff can be charged off the battery, whereas that might affect a normal bike's alternator, I guess. But yeah, the main thing is the luggage. So I can put a top box on the back. I've got a Jivvy top box that sits on that, and I've got Jivvy side boxes attached to these brackets here. Now if you use the Ducati official luggage for this bike, you don't have this bracket or this kind of like flat pad at the back. The Ducati stuff actually fits to the existing bodywork, and there's like a bracket down here and it just slips on. But the Ducati luggage is soft luggage. It's not waterproof. You have to have like a waterproof bag inside it, and they're really wide. Like the side bags on this, they're really wide, wider than the handlebars, and therefore in the UK, especially, not here because you're not allowed to filter traffic here, but in Nevada, but if you want to filter traffic in the UK, it's going to make it very difficult if you've got luggage that's wider than your bike, because you don't know if you're going to get squished by a lorry. But yeah, apart from those few little things, it's effectively just a touring version of the Hypermotard. So let's get our gloves on. Let me get my gloves on, and we go for a ride up the strip. It's a beautiful day out here today. The air is a little fresh, but it's the sun is very warm. No complaints for me for February, the last day of February. It is the last day, isn't it? It's not a leap year. Okay. There we go. She hasn't been she's hardly been used, old Dora, seeing as I'm not in work. I've not been in work for so long. I used to ride Dora pretty much every day. I rode it to work all through the year, even out into the desert when it was minus, God, I don't know what the coldest temperature was that I've been out in, -6, something like that. I'm going to go down here, do a little cheeky U-turn. So the Las Vegas sign is right next to the airport. So we've got the sign up here. There's the executive airport. Here's the sign, Las Vegas sign, and the big queue of people waiting. And then we've got a fairly new, in the last few years anyway, Harley Davidson dealership. But no one cares about them. Nobody cares. The Pinball Hall of Fame. I've not seen that before. That's new. The Pinball Hall of Fame. What does that mean? Is that like if your mate Paul scored highly on pinball in 1994, he gets a mention in there? Bit weird. Oh, here's the first of the wedding chapels, the Little Church of the West Wedding Chapel. So on our left, coming up. Sorry, I've got behind this lorry. That's silly, wasn't it? We've got Mandalay Bay on the left, which I saw Counting Crows play on the beach in Mandalay Bay. They've got like a pool which has got a sand entry into the pool, so it feels like a beach. Very cool. And I saw Counting Crows playing, and they were on a stage in the pool. So you could just like sit in the pool or kind of on the beach. However, what it's most infamous for is a few years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago now, the mass shooting that was over on the right here, somewhere over here. There was a I think it was a country and western music festival or something, and some nut job opened one of the windows in Mandalay Bay, and I think he had a dozen high-powered rifles in there and was just shooting randomly across the road into the festival. Pretty sick. Anyway, let's move on for that. So yeah, Mandalay Bay on the left there, and Four Seasons, which I think is owned. I think it's owned by Mandalay Bay. Just the posh end of Mandalay Bay. So yeah, Dora. Hello, Dora. Dora is she was a funny bike. Ducati don't make it anymore. They brought out a new Hypermotard, but they didn't bring out the Strada. I don't think it was a very popular. It wasn't a very popular bike, and I'm not really sure why. It's kind of something in between a Multistrada. It's just a small version of a Multistrada, which for me a Multistrada is too big. But what I love about this bike is it's you can go touring on it. You know, you can do the miles. It's got the screen and the luggage and all that good stuff. But it's sporty as well. It's great fun to ride. It's really quite quick and nimble and light, and it doesn't feel heavy like a typical touring bike. So I didn't want a touring bike where when you get to your destination you've still got a big horrible touring bike that is boring to ride. You want to get to your destination and have something that's fun. So this ticks the boxes for me in that sense. Right, we've got the Luxor here on the left, which is the pyramid. That's the Luxor. Tracy and I went to Allegiant Stadium, which is just behind the Luxor there, on Saturday. Just gone to see Billy Joel, and we tried to park in the Luxor, and we couldn't. It was closed, apart from if you're a hotel guest. So we had to park next door on the Excalibur, which was also closed, but to hotel guests only. But luckily we've got like this MGM card that the military get out here, and it lets you park for free in MGM resorts, so they let us in, thankfully. But yeah, that's Excalibur. It's like nice as Disney Castle. Then we've got Tropicana on the right. Hello, Tropicana. Got to try and talk to you without getting run over by an American truck, because everyone going down the strip obviously has no idea where they're going. Everyone's trying to find their hotel or take pictures, or so motorbike won't see that important. They just run me over. Right, on the right here, I sort of want to get stuck by lights, don't I? On the right is MGM Grand, and on the left, New York, New York. I need to kind of look left so you can see, but also make sure I don't drive into a car in front of me. It's New York, New York, and they got like a roller coaster. Don't know how well you can see it, but there's a roller coaster on this side of New York, New York. Then we've got some shops and stuff on the right. Boring, boring, boring. And then what's next? Park MGM. Park MGM is new since I've been here the second time. I think what was it called before? It was the Monte Carlo Hotel, I think, that was revamped and it's now called Park MGM. And then you've got a few buildings here which make up the area, the Vidara. They're quite nice. They're quite nice hotels. And there's a posh shopping bit here, Tiffany & Co. Tracy's always in there. Prada, Yves Saint Laurent, etc, etc. Then we've got Cosmopolitan here, which is that's fairly new. That was only built in like 2009, 2010, and that's next door to the Bellagio. We've got the Bellagio here on the left. I don't think the fountains are on. Bellagio is the one with the famous fountains out front, built by Steve Wynn. And then on this side, Paris. Oh, I've got a crazy truck next to me. Slow down. This is a Paris. You can see the Eiffel Tower. And this is Mon Ami Gabi outside, the restaurant. That is Tracy and I. That's our go-to restaurant on the strip. We always plan to eat somewhere else, and then we just end up going to Mon Ami Gabi because the seating's awesome. Yeah, you're opposite the Bellagio. God, I've never hit so many green lights. You're opposite the Bellagio, and outside seating. Right, on the left, Caesar's Palace. Oh, there's Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. Hell's Kitchen. On the left, Caesar's Palace, which is vast. And on the right, what's this? Flamingo. The Caesar's Palace is still going. Oh, this is the link. Now behind the link is the big wheel. You probably can't see it. Got Mirage on the left. Suicidal pedestrians in front of us. Don't go anywhere. Mirage. Treasure Island just beyond Mirage. This is a nice one. This is the Venetian on the right. Venetian on the right. And that's that tags on to the Palazzo. Basically the same hotel, just different tower. A That's the Palazzo. Then after Palazzo you can see there in the distance Wynn and Encore. Wynn obviously named by Steve Wynn. Steve Wynn, who is the mastermind behind the Bellagio. He's the one that decided to have fountains out the front, even though he was advised not to waste the money, but it's probably what most people go to the Bellagio to see. But it's not owned by him anymore. I think during the stock market crash in early 2000s, he lost a lot of money, and MGM, I think it was MGM, bought the Bellagio off him. So he doesn't own the Bellagio anymore, but he is the creator. Right, let's go around this guy. Right, on the left is the Fashion Show Mall. That big like space disc looking thing. That's just a big shopping mall really, of half decent shops. There's the Encore, the other half of the Wynn. So basically Vegas went through a stage where all the hotels built a second tower. Like the Wynn built the Encore, Venetian built Palazzo, and Luxor built like a tower next to the pyramid. Mandalay Bay built Four Seasons. There's quite a long list. But yeah, that's what happened. They all built like second towers. Right, so on the left here, in this big kind of open space, this was where the Stardust was when I came here in 1999 or 2000, I think it was. No, 2001. It was a Stardust. Well, they knocked the Stardust down not long after that, and they were going to build a big resort there, and it never happened. Anyway, this resort is only just finished. It's only been open a couple of months, and it's called Resort World, or Resorts World. Wow, imaginative title, Resorts World. And it's built up of like the Virgin Hotel, Conrad, of Hilton Hotel, but it was supposed to be like a Chinese theme. I don't think Chinese owned, but Chinese theme. And hang on, we've got Circus on the left here. Oh, some lights, finally. Some lights. Right, it's the Circus on the left there. That's pretty cool. They got like an indoor theme park that's got a roller coaster in it. Yeah, so the Resorts World was supposed to be a Chinese theme, and I think before they finished it, they went against that. I think the advice was to steer clear of like themed hotels on the strip, because I guess it only attracts certain people. Like if you're not really interested in a Chinese theme, then you won't go there, whereas if it's just generic, there's more likelihood that anyone's going to go there. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but I was kind of looking forward to having this really cool like Chinatown type hotel, just something a little bit different from all the others, because all the others are a bit, a bit same. They're either posh and expensive or run down and old, like Circus. So I think to have something different would have been cool, but nah, didn't happen. They just came up with Resorts World. So we've smashed it along there, haven't we? It's pretty good because there's not a lot to say about each hotel, apart from Tracy's stayed in most of them. Right, what have we got coming up here? So we've got, I don't know if this on the right is I guess it's apartments, or they've got to be offices, but this has been taking years for them to finish, this big tall one here on the right. And you've got apartments on the left. Some of the lads from the squadron live down here. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Taxpayer paid apartment on the strip. We missed Trump Towers, but that's kind of set back from the strip. It's not really on the strip. And then you got Sahara Hotel up here on the right, which used to be called Sahara, and they had a little roller coaster on the outside, and then that went bust, I think, and then it was renamed SLS, which was, I don't know what that stood for, Sahara something I guess. Yeah, it used to be like a, here where these restaurants here, used to be a roller coaster. It would come outside. Yeah, now, so the SLS died a death and it's gone back to being called Sahara. So that's its third name in about 10 years. And here, this is called the Stratosphere, which I want to say is the tallest tower, but I don't actually know. But it's got a viewing platform at the top and a restaurant, the top of the world restaurant. Quite a nice restaurant with a like revolving floor, so when you sit on the outside tables you're actually going around really slowly. But that used to have a roller coaster on top of it as well, but now it's got, if you can see the spike in the middle, that's got a thing that shoots up and down. You got a thing that hangs over the edge, like tips you off the edge, and you got one that tips you off the edge and spins. And you can also do like a, I think it's supposed to be like a free fall abseil, but it's not. It's not free fall speed. Not that I would know because I haven't done it and I'm not going to do it. But it's a very fast abseil where you just jump off a platform off the side there, and you come down the bottom. So that's the Stratosphere, and that Stratosphere really brings us to the end of the main strip. I nailed that pretty quick. And then after the Stratosphere here, we head into, well, I don't know how to put it politely, but kind of Shitsville. You got this fancy new sign here. It's cool. So what I'll do is I'll go up here, I'll turn off, I'll find this little road that I like called Graffiti Alley, and then I'll go up to Fremont Street. I'll show you where Fremont Street is in comparison to the strip. People think Fremont Street is at the top of the strip, and it is, but there's about a mile, at least a mile gap between the top of the strip, i.e. the Stratosphere, and Fremont Street. I should know how far it is because I've run the half marathon along the strip here a few years ago. You run all the way up the strip and then like halfway back again. Well, no, sorry, you run all the way up the strip, you run up to Fremont Street, and then you run about halfway back again. Right, I want to go left here for Main Street. So the strip carries on up there to the right, but I want to go up Main Street. Yeah, so it's at least a mile, so it's not, yeah, it's walkable, but this area is, I think they're putting money into it, but it's pretty run down. Again, if you go like a block east of the strip or a block west of the strip, it's pretty honking north of the strip as well. So stay on the strip, people. Stay on the strip. Come on, Mr. Traffic Light. So the sun is shining on the back of my leg, which you might think, yeah, so what, but I seem to have, the chemo seems to have melted my hair. My hair is definitely getting thinner, which any of you who know what I look like under this outfit probably just choked on their porridge, but because I am bald. But this round of chemo seems to be, I seem to be losing my hair on this chemo, because I've got no hair on the back of my legs, so I could really feel the sun on my legs then. And I can notice that the hair on my like back of my head and stuff is where am I going? Down here, I think. So this is a place called Graffiti Alley. Yeah, so yeah, so I was definitely losing my hair. do you feel all of a sudden like you're going to get mugged. So Graffiti Alley, it's not much reason to take you up here apart from it's a bit more interesting than just going up the road. I'm going to go straight across. That's kind of cool. I think that's new graffiti on the walls there. Welcome to the Arts District. Yeah, this is like a place known as the Arts District, and they got those like cool little bars and restaurants and shops and stuff. But it's one of those places that you need to know where you're going. Otherwise it's just, I don't know, something that looks cool might be dodgy. I wouldn't feel comfortable just randomly going down these little alleyways looking for a cool bar. Alright, let's carry on this way. So what I'll do is I'll turn left onto Main Street here, back onto Main Street, and up to Fremont Street. Yeah, so the hair on the back of my legs is kind of pretty much gone. Hair under my arms is pretty much gone. My beard has got thinner and lighter. So yeah, the chemo is definitely affecting me. But hey, it could be worse. Could be worse. Oh, that's pretty cool. Guess that's why they call it the Arts District. These lights are on forever. Come on. Right, I think I'll just stay on this street. I think I'll just go straight on. Oh, I know where we are. So this on the left is somewhere around here anyway. On the corner here is where we used to go to vintage bike night. It was like the third Thursday of every month or something like that. You get all these cool vintage bikes parked up, and there'd be like bar and live music. Pretty decent. We'd come down a few times. I'll tell you what, since I've been back I've not been. But that's just because there's a different vibe out here this time. When I was here last time there was loads of bikers, tons of us. So now there's a couple, but they're probably not really interested in vintage bikes or that kind of thing, and I don't know, it's just a different vibe. Yeah, there's like a lot of new riders, I'd say. A lot of new riders that probably aren't totally into bikes. They're maybe just riding bikes because it's cool to do it in America. It's easy to get your license out here. Really easy. It's kind of a cool little street. The thing is, you can see they're trying to improve the area. I like to see that. I don't mind if an area is run down if it looks like they're trying to improve it. Money is definitely being invested. Right, if you haven't given up on me yet and you're eagerly awaiting Fremont Street. I think we're almost there, because the biggest clue is there's a couple of big towers, which are obviously hotels. Fremont Street is kind of a wacky place as well. They've got this massive, like, covered alleyway. It's about, it must be a quarter of a mile long. You'll see it in a second actually. I'll slow down. And it's got like, I think it's like the world's biggest LED screen or something like that, because the roof is just one big LED screen. Oh, here we go. If I go to the right here, I should be able to see it. Just not quite. I thought this was a bit more open so you could see it, but you cannot. Totally forgot to look for you, didn't I? Anyway, yeah, it's just a big, basically an LED screen on a roof that's a quarter of a mile long. So that was not really worth the wait for you. I'll step down a bus. Yeah, so that was the strip. That was Las Vegas Strip. And obviously you met Dora, the most important thing. How do I get back on the motorway? That's my next question. Anyway, this time I actually get to say goodbye to you, because my battery hasn't run out. For the first time in 2 videos, obviously because I'm talking too much crap for the last 2, the battery ran out. Yeah, I get to say goodbye. So whilst I try and fudge my way back to the motorway to head home, I bid you farewell and good health. It's my chemo-free week this week, so I'm feeling good. Might take Daisy out for a run later this week. I want to take her up Mount Charleston, I think, up to the snow, or not into the snow, clearly, but do a video of Daisy going up the mountain. So yeah, expect that on my next video later this week or next week. Feel free to comment, slate me. Hopefully the audio is working. I've got this oh, I'm supposed to say goodbye, aren't I? I've got this what's called a dead cat. Got a dead cat on my microphone now, which is apparently what fixes wind noise. And I'm going to find out now on the highway. So hopefully the wind is fixed, the audio is good, you enjoyed Las Vegas Strip. It might save you having to visit if it's not your kind of thing, because I find it's about 50-50 with most people. 50 people love it, 50% of people hate it. So goodbye, farewell, adios.